let's get the show on the road. Bob, what do you think we should do with this guy? All right, Bob says I gotta answer the question. I'm just gonna have a frank conversation with you. No, not you, Frank, like Frank. And here's what I think agents think. You create content, perhaps a video, you put it on Facebook, and somehow your phone's going to ring and your business is going to grow. Am I getting that correctly? First, pause the video right now and put in the comments what you think social media is, because I just shot a video yesterday, vlog 58, social media for real estate agents, what it is and what it's not. Truth. And of course, there's a divide because agents are like, well, how do we use this social media thing versus this old school thing? How can I say this? Back in the day, how can I relate this? Okay, I got it. So before televisions came out, there was radio. So let's say that televisions are new and real estate agents wanted to grow their business, and some hotshot coach shows up and says, hey, there's this cool thing called television. It's a new way of creating content. I think you can use television to grow your real estate business. And agents of that time were saying, no, this new television thing, I don't know. And of course, as we know it today, it's a multi-billion-dollar marketing platform. How do you think movie stars got their status of being movie stars? How do these movie stars have millions of people following them if it was not for TV? TV is really what did it. It's this platform, this magical black box with a viewing portal, and you could see images and they're moving and people are talking, making sounds, and now we've got movies and sitcoms and on and on and on. But back then, that was the new thing. Social media is the same thing. If you are possibly thinking, how is social media going to generate business? To me, that says that, and I don't want to make this sound bad because I'm not saying you don't know, how do I say this without, maybe you just don't know how marketing works. It's a platform. It's just using a different tool to get the same end result. And I explained that in yesterday's video. I'm just trying to think of, you know what, let me just go to the question and I will clear everything up. Bob, wake up over there. The guy really doesn't do much. He just sits there and watches me make videos. Sebastian, do you think there should be a good mix of both schools of thought? Social media / video being part of your prospecting plan along with farming, expireds / calls, etc. To me, this tells me that in your mind there is a divide between this new thing called social media and this old school thing that we've all been taught. If you want the yes or no answer, the answer is yes. The end. End of the video. But wait, there's more. So let's divide the two. So you and I were kind of clear on what we're talking about. So the traditional old school stuff would be cold calling expireds, calling FSBOs, open houses, geo-farming, like physically mail in people's mailboxes. And this new magical black box social media would be shooting videos, editing videos, chopping them up, putting them on social media platforms, generating traffic to that content to then redirect that content to a landing page, which then comes up as a lead. Then you nurture that lead, you grow your know, like, and trust factor. By the time they go to buy or sell, they're gonna call you. That's just a part of it. Then there's also going out to local businesses, interviewing them, growing those relationships. I mean, what I talk about here is not, and I want to make one thing absolutely clear. What I do here is not, hey, I've got a good idea. Why don't you post 1 million videos and your phone will start ringing? That is not what I'm about, like, at all. I build tribes. That's the end result. The end result is still human to human conversation. That's still the end result. What I'm doing here on this YouTube channel and everything that I represent is building your tribe, build relationships, but you're using marketing and you're attracting these relationships and you're building your local tribe. So the referrals and the quality of leads will start coming. Better quality leads will start coming your way. Does that kind of make sense? So it's not this throw up content and your business magically goes up. That just won't do it. It's not what I think you think it is. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe the way I described it is not the way you're thinking. Maybe you do understand that it's not just put up video and the phone will ring. There are systems involved. What you're seeing is kind of the tip of the iceberg. But what I'm working on in terms of Tribe Agent, that will actually show you the entire underneath the hood of the car, so you can see the engine and you go, oh, that's how that works. But what you're seeing is me creating content and creating videos, so isn't that what it's about? No, that's not really what it's about. So how do you do both? Well, you can't do both, because if I were to say, yes, why don't you do both? Do this social media plus traditional prospecting. I know what the first thing is that you're going to say. Let's hear it. But I don't have time for all of that, right? I knew you'd say it. Of course. So now we have a roadblock. We all have 24 hours in the day, and yet here's me saying, okay, well, if you're going to do both, I'm going to need more time. Yes, you are. That's why you can't do both. We are looking at two completely different things. One is, how much time and energy are you putting into something to get this result? If you're putting a lot of time and energy into something that gets you this result, you're not going to want this, okay? If you're putting in this much time and effort and energy into something that's going to potentially grow you this much business, you're going to want to do that. And that's the way I look at traditional versus, I don't even want to call it social media, platform marketing. There, I changed it. I'm no longer using social media because that's confusing and people think it's something it's not. So then, okay, we've got 24 hours in a day. What do you recommend I do? Right, Bob? Like, what the heck? If what you're doing is working right now, if you're making the calls, the FSBOs, expireds, cold calling, if that is working, I am not saying stop. Because I don't want you to all of a sudden lose your business. That would be very irresponsible of me to tell you that. If you don't like doing these things or using those methods, I don't blame you. And I would love nothing more than for you to stop doing old school prospecting. So then how do you convert that from prospecting to marketing? Well, you start a little bit at a time. You have to learn how to use the platforms, but more importantly, it's not the platforms. It's not like, oh, once I know how to use Facebook, business will come in. It's not that. You don't have to learn social media, which is the platform. You have to learn and understand marketing. When you understand the concept of marketing, forgetting social media, then it's like a light bulb moment. Then you go, okay, that makes sense. Now it doesn't matter what platform I'm on, I understand marketing. I know how to get a message across to somebody that gets them to take action. That's really what you're doing on social media. I hope that's making some sense. Just keep sleeping over there, Bob. So now we're dealing time versus result. Stick with what works now and start using social media. Start using marketing on social media is really what I meant to say. And then eventually, once this starts to build up, traditional old school stuff, you can then stop. It's not up to me to tell you, it's up to you to manage your schedule and manage how you market. If you know nothing about marketing and you jump into social media and you completely stop traditional, I'm willing to bet, I think you know what I'm getting at. Your business is just not going to do so well. I hope that kind of explains both. Now, there's something that you said on one of those comments. Let me just go back to it. Part of prospecting plan along with farming. See, here's the thing. When you say along with farming, I'm assuming here, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming you're talking about flyer drops. The thing is, what I do here with Tribe Agents and building tribes, farming is actually a huge part of it, but it's not done through flyer drops. It's done online. You could be so much more effective doing farming or geo-farming online. Here's a quick question for you. How did you know that I exist? How did you learn? Where did you learn for the first time that I'm here shooting these videos? Did you get a flyer from me? No, I don't think so. I don't do flyers. Right, Bob? That's what I'm talking about. My geofarming is done the exact same way, online. Why do you think I have a following of real estate agents watching my content? Because I do my farming online. Did that blow your mind or what? Okay, let's get serious here. Like, I hope you can see where I'm coming from. I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm giving you content, you're following my content, you're watching my videos. Not once did I ever mail you anything or give you a flyer. I'm making content. Here's the thing, when it comes to calling expireds, or even cold calling, where you're picking a street, picking up the phone and calling, that's what I would consider cold prospecting, meaning they don't know who you are. Warm prospecting is awesome because you can call somebody and they know who you are. And that is a completely different conversation than cold prospecting. If you want to call expireds because that is business for you, I'm not saying stop. All I'm saying is you have 24 hours in a day, and how you use that time is what's really going to separate you from the other agents. The cool thing about, it's not social media, platforms and marketing, is you can scale yourself to an unlimited number of viewers. Does that make sense? When you stop picking up the phone, your business stops. But when you create content and you know how to use marketing, you could be driving in multiple leads every day by doing that. And the leads are in your inbox. They know who you are. When you contact these people, it's a different conversation. So you can call expireds or FSBOs or just flat out cold prospecting. You know, that's your choice if that's what you want to do. What I'm saying is time versus result. Energy versus result. It's a balancing act. And I understand agents are hanging on to traditional because they understand traditional. They know how it works. So when it comes to a good mix, there is no such thing as a good mix because we both have different strengths and weaknesses. My strength could be your weakness. Your strength could be my weakness. So you have to look at what your strengths are and use your strengths to your advantage. That's why I don't do blogs, because I'm not a writer. I use video to my advantage. Is that kind of making sense? I hope I answered your question clearly enough, because the answer to your question is much bigger than just, yes, you could do 60% of this and 40% of that. That's not the way it works, and I hope you can kind of see that. And the key is to start off small. Running a real estate business now is different than it was 10 years ago. As agents, we have to actually understand how marketing works, what makes people take action. We never had to know any of that 10, 20 years ago. We had to learn objection handling. Well, if they say this is the line that you use. And it was fine for back then. People aren't stupid. They know when you're throwing out a sales line. The BS meter is huge. That is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, give me a like. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell button. And we'll chat tomorrow. Take care. But wait, there's more. I'm kidding. We're done.